All right, this is for the advanced student. If you want to start animating your titles in Adobe Premiere, I just want to show students who are maybe a little bit more getting used to using it. Under Effects module, left click on that. All right, I know that the pink is my title, so I'm going to left click on that. Whenever you click on whatever it is, it will update in here in your effects controls. Okay, so what we're seeing here, and I know it seems like a lot, this is just like in Photoshop. When you were doing your keyframes on the video timeline in Photoshop to create your animation that you could do whatever you wanted, it's the same idea. You have these stopwatches here that let you change position, scale, rotation. These are the main ones. I also use opacity quite a bit if I want to fade things in and out. Okay, I mean, instead of doing it here, okay, I can do it up here. Okay, the thing is motion. I want to tell Adobe Premiere at this point, this is where I am going to move up the title, okay? So as you see, I'm moving this playhead here. It is moving in the effects control. So now I'm going to go ahead and tell Adobe Premiere, I want to set a keyframe. I want to say this is my ending, and I tend to work backwards with this. It just seems to work better. So if I say this is my end point, I want to add a keyframe for position. I'm going to click on the stopwatch, and now there's a keyframe. I'm going to back it up to the beginning, and you know what? I want that title to actually rise out from below. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to change the position here. Sometimes I change it here, but sometimes it acts glitchy sometimes and it won't pick up the changes and it won't add the keyframe here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my position here, and I'm just going to left click. I prefer to left click hold, and then you can move. See, I can move it side to side just by changing the first number. I'm actually fine with the position of it there, but I'm going to do the second number, and that is your up and down. So I am going to move it off of the screen, and you see the red letters disappear. So right there, there's a keyframe, and then when I move the playhead, the title becomes animated. You know, if I wanted to get fancier and I want to apply another effect, I want to say here, it goes up here like that, and you know what? I want it to disappear. So I'm going to move my playhead. I'll move my playhead up here, and I'm going to say, you know what? It's starting to dissolve, so you know what? I want to drop the opacity. Okay, I know I want it to disappear at this point, but with this one, I need to make a keyframe saying that it's at 100%. So at 100% opacity. So now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to drop a keyframe right here, and I just clicked on the diamond. The watch was already blue, so it makes me think there was a keyframe already there, but this is now 100%. I'm going to move my playhead over here. I want it to start fading out before this cross dissolve occurs, so I'm not going to drop another keyframe. So this is another way you can add a keyframe. You can just click on the little diamond, left click on that, and then I can use the, when I hover, I get the two little arrows. I can then adjust the opacity. I'm going to bring it down to none. Now here's the thing. I realize I need to move this keyframe, because if you play this through, what's going to happen is it's literally going to tween the opacity. So I feel like that is not easy to read. That's really tough. So I'm going to grab this keyframe and I'm going to drag it closer so that opacity change occurs on fewer frames. So then when I scrub through, boom, it fades out. Okay, so these are options that you can use to animate. So if I wanted the text to bounce in, or I wanted to do anything with it, it's the same idea in Photoshop with the video time layers. The video timeline, doing those layers, and except it's in Adobe Premiere. Okay, so that's how you would animate the title.